Everybody in the room right now, clap for Chet Hanks.
Thank you.
Hollywood royalty in the building, man.
Oh man.
What's good with you? You like I got so many questions for you, man.
Man, I would love to talk, bro. Let's talk
that's
about
what we're gonna do.
Let's talk about it.
First off, describe yourself as far as what it is that you do. You're an actor, musician, all around creative. Like, describe Chet Hanks to the people listening to the Red Pill.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm mostly an actor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I've been making my living. But I have like a history of music, and I'm still doing that too.
Right.
So I got some new stuff coming out. Like, I'm part of a group.
Okay.
Yeah, it's me and my boy Drew. The group's called FTRZ, and we're about to start a whole campaign with a bunch of music we're putting out.
Sweet. So the music was the first thing that kind of got you creatively.
Yeah.
It was music first.
Yeah.
You would think, if people that listen to the Red Pill don't know, Chet Hanks, who's carving out a career of his own, has some pretty famous family members. His father is the most beloved actor in American history, Tom Hanks, and his mother is a super producer, Rita Wilson, right?
True.
And an actress in her own right, very talented actress in her own right, Rita Wilson.
True.
What in the fuck was that like? You're Tom Hanks's goddamn kid. Like, when did you realize? When I say one of the most famous people in America, one of the most famous people in the history of the world, how do you deal with that?
Well, this is like a big conversation. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about it. I didn't really realize like how much it affected me until like I was like grown. You know what I mean? Like until I was like into like early adulthood.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when you're young, you don't think anything about your life is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have anything to compare it to. So you're not thinking about, all the things that, are different. You're just like, everything is normal to you. So like it took a while for me to like really like understand like how it affected me. But like first and foremost, like my parents like the best people, you know what I mean? Like, like ever, like real, like I love my parents like so much, you know what I'm saying? And they did a really, really great job raising me. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, first
give it up for that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
before it's movie star shit, before it's like any of that shit, it's just good dad and mom.
Good dad, good mom, period. Like great dad, great mom. Like, and they're just great people, you know what I'm saying? And I'm extremely blessed. Like I'm extremely blessed just to have such great parents that like love me and have taken care of me, you know what I mean? Like just on totally like simplistically, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, has nothing to do with all the other stuff, just like on a dad and mom level, you know what I mean? Like I'm extremely blessed, and on that other level I'm extremely blessed too, you know what I'm saying? Like
on that other level you can't get more blessed. I don't know if you can get more blessed than being this nigga's Castaway's son. Like, you know what I'm saying? This fucking Biggs kid over here. Like, I don't know if you can fucking get more blessed than that. Like that, huh? Forrest Gump. That's a big deal. Was there a moment in your life where you realized sort of just how famous he was?
I don't really remember exactly when it was. I just remember like watching like Big when I was like a little kid, probably like, I don't even know, like 5, 6 years old, and I was watching Big on TV, and I was like, "That's Dad," and my mom was like, "Yeah, that's him," and I was like, "What's he doing on TV?" And she was like, "Well, he's an actor. Like that's what he does, you know." And I'm like, and I was just like, "Oh, okay,
okay,
like, you
cool.
know what I mean? Like
that's what Dad does."
Yeah, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like
my dad was a semen finisher. My mom was like, "Yo, your dad was a semen." I was like, "Okay, cool." I don't know what. I mean, that's what she said. Like it goes. I was like, "All right, well, that seems fun." But like, you're like, yeah, it
was just like, oh, all right, you know what I'm saying, and that's it. Like it wasn't like, oh my god, like this, like, oh, he's like, you know what I mean. It was just like, oh, okay. So it was like, that's what I mean, like by like it was just normal to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And yeah, man, like I'm extremely blessed. It comes with, you know what I mean, like a lot of like really great advantages. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of on the other side, like some like awkwardness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I would imagine.
You know what I'm saying? There's some situations where it's just kind of awkward. You know what I mean? and that's the kind of stuff that I didn't really like fully grasp until I got like more older and, you know what I mean, like more wiser. But pretty much like what I mean by that is like everywhere, like growing up, you know what I'm saying, everywhere I went and like meeting new people and everywhere I know, going to a new school or just going around some people that you don't know or whatever, it was weird because like I never like advertised like who I was. Like I didn't go around telling people like that was not me at all. You know what I mean? I was never the guy who's like, do you know who I am? Like, do you know who my dad is? Like, I was the opposite. I was like trying to be as like incognito as possible because I didn't think that mattered.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but it was weird because everywhere I went, people already knew.
It beat you to the door.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, people already knew. Like, when I went to college, like, it's my first week at college, you know what I'm saying? And there's thousands of kids, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, no one's gonna know. Like, I didn't say anything. Like, no one's gonna know. Everyone already knew. It was the weirdest thing. I was just like, how do people know, man?
Right.
Like people know like my whole like my whole like resume, and I was not, and I was completely like I was like not in the public eye at all, and it just always blew my mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like people were always talking. And not only were they talking, like they like everyone just always had like their like judgment about me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what would they say?
Well, people just automatically like when they know that they automatically have a preconceived idea of like what my life would be like or like what my whole life is like, and more often than not, it was just completely inaccurate. Because
it's hard. That's hard. You know, it's hard not to have any preconceived notions. Because I imagine your childhood, as you know, you're playing with your toys upstairs, and then you hear some guys having a good time downstairs, and you go downstairs, and it's you, your dad, Steven Spielberg, fucking Steve Martin, fucking everybody hanging out, chilling, writing, and making shows all the time. Like, I wouldn't know. Like, it's weird because for you it's your family life, but for everyone else, and this is something that must be frustrating, to have your normal be fascinating to everybody else. Right. To have what you just understand, that must be a lot of pressure. To have your normal be everybody else goes, man, what is that like?
Yeah, everyone was just always on a trip. Like, everyone was always like, you know what I mean? And about things that I considered like completely irrelevant.
Word.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it was completely irrelevant to me, but everyone else would trip out about it. You know what I mean? Like, but basically it's like everybody, because they know who my dad is. They know he's like, you know, super successful, famous, whatever. So then they automatically, their next thought is, oh, like, I must have it made. Like, my life must be like Richie Rich. Like, my life just must be like, I like lay at a swimming pool all day and like drink margaritas, and I don't have to worry about shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not how it was, because my parents are really smart people, and they're really humble people, and they've worked really hard for everything they have. So they went to great lengths to intentionally and with a purpose raise me in a way that was not that at all, because they knew that if they raised me like that, which is how most of the kids that I grew up around were living, they knew that if they raised me like that, that I wouldn't be able to like
appreciate anything.
Not only appreciate anything, but like work for anything. Like have any motivation, have any ambition. Like, I know kids that I grew up around that since they have had like a black card since they were 16. You know what I'm saying? And like boom, like they turned 16 years old, like BMW, like Mercedes. You know what I mean? Like whatever you want. They just have pretty much like there's no limits to their life, and it's very hard for those kids once they get older to have any motivation. Like, what's the motivation to go out and get it if you've already got it? Like, if you already had it your whole life. If someone's giving it to you, you don't understand the value of a dollar. So, like, my parents knew that. They knew if they just raised me like the normal way for their, you know, community, the community that I grew up in, that I would turn out a certain way. So they went to great lengths to raise me the opposite way, which was basically like like if we're talking about like money, if we're talking about like me being 16, it'd be like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm in high school. Can I have some money? You know what I mean? To go out with my friends. I'm not exaggerating. I'd be like, Dad, can I get some money? He'd be like, all right, yeah, go wash my car. You know what I mean? Like, go wash my car. I'll give you $40.
Wait, so
I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating.
So I want you to do me a favor, and this is not to embarrass Chet. I just want you to do me a favor. Look up the net worth on Tom Hanks, because this is the parent. This is parenting. This is good parenting. This right here is what the fuck I'm talking about. It would be easier for him to just set you out a whole separate account and let you just go in it wherever you want it. It would be simpler for a guy that busy to do that. It'd be easier on him. He'd have to you be in his hair less. But it was important to him that you understood that money is a result of work.
Him and my mom.
And your mom. And so both of them. So what did that do for you at that point when you're going through that? Is there any part of you that's thinking, damn, the other kids don't have to go through this? Did you go through any of that?
Okay, look. Just so you know, I'm not exaggerating. I'm really not exaggerating. Like, I'm not embellishing this to like make a statement. Like, this is what it was like. Okay. But what do you think? Like, if you didn't know, if we're not having this discussion, right? And you just know, oh, Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son. What do you think? Like, my first car would have been?
Probably like a G-Wagon, or something. Because I'm going off of that just because, because of what I see on my Super 316 and like, you know what I'm saying? Or like,
and the kids out, like, I went to private school my whole life. The kids I was around, that's what it was like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was normal.
They had Jeeps and G-Wagons,
Porsches. Like there were kids whipping Porsches, brand new Porsches, to my high school when they were 16 years old.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that
The number I'm seeing on Google is 350 million.
So that was
$50 million.
That was normal
for
the kid. That was look, man, you know what I'm saying? But pause to it. Like, this is what my dad always taught me, was that he never went out and was like, I'm trying to make a lot of money.
He just did it for the love, and he was great at it.
He didn't. He said, he told me this. He said, Chet, I never went out and was searching for money and power. He said, I just loved my craft. I love acting. I would take any role in a play, even if it wasn't the main role. I would play guard number 2 in a Shakespeare play. And I would love every minute, because I loved to hang out. I loved being, you know what I mean? I loved every moment. And because of how great his passion was, he became one of the best actors in the world. And because of that, he got money, power, success, all that. But he wasn't chasing that. He was chasing just his passion. And that's what he's taught me.
What was your first car?
From day one. My first car was a PT Cruiser. A used PT Cruiser. A used PT Cruiser. A used 2001. It was a 2000. You know whose car that was?
Who?
My dad's.
He gave you his car.
Yeah, he gave me his old car. I don't know why he liked the PT Cruiser, but he liked the PT Cruiser. I don't know. So when all the kids were whipping G-Wagons and Porsches to high school, I was pulling up in a PT Cruiser. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people know who I am, and they're expecting it to be one way, but I'm pulling up in a PT Cruiser, so people are like, what? Like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Not only that, like, I'm going out to hang out with my friends. They're going to like restaurants and shit. You know what I'm saying? The bill comes. I'm like, I only got $40. You know what I mean?
Like, what the fuck?
Like, that's all I got. Like, that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? So this is what happens. Like, to get back into what you asked me before. What happened was, like, I was pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was pissed. You know what I'm saying? When I was in high school, like. I was like, man, just you know what I'm saying?
Lace me.
Like here I am, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, I don't have any anonymity, you know what I'm saying? Because everyone always, everywhere I go, people know who I am. They're treating me really weird. You know what I'm saying? They're treating me really weird because here's what it wasn't like. Oh, that's Tom Hanks' son. Oh, let's go fucking, like, I'm trying to kiss his ass. Like, let's, you know what I'm saying? It was the opposite. It was the opposite. It was like, fuck him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And I'm not exaggerating. People are like, oh, like you must have like your whole life. People must have been like riding your dick and like, you know what I mean, like trying to like
Getting mad pussy in high school and all of that.
Well, yeah. No comment. No.
Right.
But like, it wasn't love. It was
wasn't.
like it was.
Was it jealousy? Was it maybe
It
maybe
was
they,
just-
they didn't feel comfortable around?
It was
you,
just
or
tension.
Just tension.
You know what I'm
I feel
saying?
you.
Tension or hate. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tension or hate.
Or like people were just outright like had it out for me. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just like, fuck that guy. He must think he's such hot shit.
He must think he the man.
He must think he's such hot shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I didn't. Like I've been the same my whole life. I've been like a pretty humble dude. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, and I take people. I treat the CEO the same as I treat the janitor.
Yeah.
And I treat everybody with respect as long as you give me respect. And I'm cool, man. Like I don't think I'm above anybody. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, but everybody was looking at me like I thought I was above everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just weird. You know what I mean? It was just weird.
When did you get used to it? When did you start to get used to it?
That's a good question. I started to get used to it. It's not so much about when did I get used to it. It's more so just about when did I just accept who I am, like, and not try to run away from who I am, like, because this is what happened. This is like kind of like the evolution, like. So, like, let me put it like this, like, everyone's looking at me like I should be balling, but I'm driving like a PT Cruiser, and like there are kids like whose dads are like dentists, you know what I mean, like an orthodontist, and they're like balling like crazy lives,
yeah.
like because their parents just giving them everything.
Anesthesiologists that
You know
they
what I'm
got-
saying?
yeah,
So
right.
it's not just like, here's what people don't understand. They think all rich people raise their kids the same.
Right.
It's not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's definitely trend, like kind of like majorities, but
Yeah.
but my parents didn't raise me that way at all. You know what I mean? And there were other families that were near the level of like wealth as my family, but they were just
Giving it
their
away.
kids were, you know what I mean? Like had crazy lives. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, when I'm like 16, I'm mad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, fuck. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like this sucks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And because my parents were like, they're kind of, you know, like they were strict. You know what I'm saying? So, I was mad, and I went through like a rebelling stage. You know
What was that
I'm
like?
saying? It was also because I always felt like people had it out for me. So I was like, I just kind of like developed a chip on my shoulder, and I was just angry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was angry at that, and I was angry at my parents because I felt like I was, you know what I'm saying? I was on a too short of a leash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't know this, but when I was 17, I got sent to a wilderness program.
Huh.
Which is like when they take you out of your room, or like, you know, like they take you out
Like
of
the
your room.
fucking like the fucking dudes on Maury that come get you with the boot camp
yeah,
guys. And,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this was to kind of set you straight.
Uh-huh.
So what was that like?
That was a crazy experience because I was like taken out of my room at like 4 a.m, and I was gone for like over a year.
Jesus.
In Utah, in like the desert, in like the middle of nowhere in Utah. You know what I'm saying? And that ended up being a really positive experience for me, not because of the way like they sell it to you, like, oh, we're gonna like take like your like bad kids and like make them like little perfect like Boy Scouts. It wasn't like that, but it was a really great experience for me because I had like a really like, it was like very spiritual for me. You know what I'm saying? It was like the hardest thing I've ever gone through at that point in my life, but like it was extremely spiritual for me. Like I like got in touch with God. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like it was like the birth of like kind of like my spiritual life.
Right. What describe to me, describe to people what it was like there. Like what did your days consist of? How did you find God there?
It was just like the days were just like hiking, like talking like
Right.
but like you're in the middle of nowhere and you just, and it was
So they
like,
take away all your distractions.
yeah,
and
there's
try
no,
to-
yeah, exactly. There's nothing, you know what I'm saying? You're literally just left like alone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it, you are alone. Like they take you on these things called solos where you're like by yourself for like days on end. Like, you know what I mean? Like cooking and doing everything like by yourself, like in the middle of nowhere. So like, you know what I mean? Like you're really like, you just like have like total like solitude. It was crazy. You know what I mean?
So was there any resentment towards your parents when they first sent you there?
Yeah.
How long did that last? When did you get over that?
It was by the time I left, there was no resentment because it made me appreciate it made me appreciate them so much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It worked. So I am not the son of a wealthy actor. Like we were fine, we were straight. There's something that when you grow up and you don't have a ton of money, you have this thought that all of your problems in life would be gone if you did have a ton of money.
Right.
You start to think, because problems are problems, but like keeping the heat on and keeping the water on and keeping all of those other things on like that, sometimes you start to think those are real problems, and what families like yours go through are not real problems. How frustrating is it for you when you're going through real life situations to have people not empathize with you or have people not understand what it is that you're going through because of some of the advantages that you have?
Yeah, like you make a really great point. And again, like, let me just say again, like I'm extremely blessed. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't have it any other way because I love my parents so much. And you know what I'm saying? There's been huge opportunities, you know what I'm saying, for me that other people don't have. They just don't have them.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it also is true that like when you come from a position of some privilege, people, it's almost like you're like not entitled to like feel pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like whatever struggles you are going through are undermined. You're not no one wants to hear that. They're like they're like people are in denial that like that it's even possible for you to have a struggle. You know what I'm saying, that you're going through. So when like you try to like express yourself that you do, it's like you're not even allowed to. You're not even allowed to express it because people are like, shut up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I was in your position, I didn't have the, and, you know, and they make it about them. Like if I didn't have this, and they compare it like, well, I didn't have this. Like I was way worse off than you. Like and yeah, like there's truth to that. But every person has their own struggles, and you don't know what somebody's struggling with.
They have their own road to walk.
You don't know what someone's struggling with, and there's many struggles in life that aren't financial, and everybody feels pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody feels
crazy.
Pain. You know?
So around this time, when did you decide in your life that you wanted to go into entertainment and you wanted to be an actor? Because you wanted to be an actor or a musician, because I would think that maybe there would be a lot of pressure involved in that with you going. I know that your brother's an actor. He's a very, very talented guy. So was it kind of like the family business? Is it something that beat you early, or did it come later on? Because you're doing a lot of good stuff that we're going to talk about. I just want to know, when did you make the decision to go ahead and go into that? Right.
It's always felt like the family business. Like I remember from a young age just being like, oh, like my dad's an actor, my mom's an actress, my older brother's an actor, I'll be an actor. You know what I mean? And I've always like, not only that, but I always felt like I could be, because I spent my life growing up on movie sets. Yeah. And like my parents are like goofy, so like we're always goofing around like we're always goofing around in our house anyway, so I just always like we did that anyway. You know what I mean? Like we would always like be like playing around like doing little characters and shit. Right. And you know what I mean? Like I would be cracking my parents up. So it wasn't like foreign to me. You know what I mean? To be like to like do it. You know what I'm saying? Do like to do what acting is, which is, you know what I'm saying, just really just playing around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So first of all, growing up, I have to ask this question as a movie nerd. What was the most fun movie set you ever visited in the mall?
Saving Private Ryan.
It's a weird ass answer. Saving Private Ryan is the goriest fucking movie. I watched that shit a couple of days ago. Yo, Saving Private Ryan is guts.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene? I don't know if you remember the scene. Remember the scene in Saving Private Ryan? They're gonna take the sticky bombs and put them on the side of the tanks. The dude starts cooking the sticky bomb. Watch Saving Private Ryan on Cinemax. The dude starts cooking the sticky bomb too early. It blows up in his face. Do you remember that? Half of this motherfucker's body blows off. I'm thinking, what was Spielberg going through when he's making this movie? I didn't need to see that. Like, why was Saving Private Ryan the most fun? And that was shot overseas too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was shot in England and Ireland. I was like 7 years old. I was like obsessed with like the army. Like I wanted to be a soldier. Like
right.
You know what I mean? And I was on that set, so it was like they gave me like a helmet and like a little outfit.
Yeah.
They gave me like one of the rubber guns, like the dummy guns.
The prop guns, yeah.
Like the prop ones. And I was just like playing soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how when you're a little kid, you play in your backyard.
Oh, so
like,
it was full-time playtime for you. Like, it was like something you could get into, yeah.
Well, like, you know how little kids do that? They're like in their backyard, like, like, oh, you're dead. Like, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, imagine doing that on like a full like World War II set.
Right.
Like, with like bombed out villages and like Omaha Beach and like extras walking around.
Fucking
and like
Vin Diesel's
like,
there. Yeah.
Oh, yo, Vin Diesel. Yo, I will forever for the rest of my life be the biggest Vin Diesel fan.
Oh, wow, what's up with Vin Diesel?
Because me and him would play video games in his trailer. Like we would play PlayStation in his trailer, and after the movie finished, one day I was like, me and my dad were in New York. My dad was in New York for something, and he had to go do something. He had like a meeting or something, and there was no one to watch me, because my mom wasn't there. So he called up Vin Diesel and was like, no, listen. He called up Vin Diesel and was like, yo, Vin, like, can you come like hang out with my son for a few hours, like while I go do this thing? And he was like, yeah. And he came.
He was like, yeah.
And he came and like we kicked it all day. He like took me to like the building that he grew up in. Like he showed me around his whole neighborhood. Like
so Vin took you to the hood.
We went to the skate park.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, this is the park I would skate at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like we kicked it all day, and I haven't seen him since.
Oh.
But if I see him, I'm gonna go up to him and be like, bro, like you babysat me.
Yeah.
When I was like
it's me.
7 years old. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
shout out Vin Diesel.
Shout out Vin Diesel, Dominic Toretto, man. So you're so you're seeing all these movie sets. You decide you want to act. You decide you want to be in the arts. When do you start to take it seriously? When does Chet Hanks' career start?
I started doing plays in high school. I took acting in high school for all 4 years, and I did plays. When I was 16, I went to Edinburgh, Scotland for the summer. Like there was this program during the summer. I did 2 plays in Edinburgh, Scotland for this thing called the Fringe Festival. I was the lead in one of them. That was like a program through my high school. And then I got sent to the wilderness thing. After the wilderness thing, I went straight into college. And I studied theater at college.
Oh, at a very fine school.
Yeah, Northwestern, yeah.
Northwestern. So then you come home from college. Do you jump right into Hollywood and start booking, or was it a struggle? Or
I tried to, but nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. I went. Let me back up. The first movie I ever did was when I was 16. It was the very first audition I ever went in. Okay, wait. So here's how I got into like actually like professionally like doing acting. So my little brother, right, who's not an actor like at all anymore. When he was like 12, right, and he wanted money to get a Truman, yeah. He's like loves like computers, and he wanted some money to get a computer. And my mom was like, well, you know, you can start like saving, you know what I mean, like to get a computer.
I would be freaking out. So you better go, mama. You think I never saw Philadelphia, he won the Oscar. Go buy my fucking computer right now. I would lose it. I used to lose it on my parents. I would ask my dad for something and be like, yo, Dad, I want a baseball glove. And my dad would be like, nigga, we got the cable on. You can afford $70 for a fucking baseball glove. Why don't you just go buy the glove? Let me see my parents on the Forbes list. Tell me I can't have my fucking computer. You know what? Take your ass down there and buy the computer. But I can't believe that they are so... That's really that's admirable.
It is admirable, and I wouldn't have it. And I'm so thankful for it now.
Yeah,
I'm so thankful for it now because I really know the value of $1.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really know the value of $1.
You still be trying to get some back pay from him though. Check this out. But so you were saying he was trying to get the computer.
So he wanted to get a computer. Mom was like, "Well, you can save up your allowance until you have enough money to get a computer." Mm-hmm. And my little brother, being a really smart kid, he was like, "Well, I want to make some money." He's 12 years old. He's like, I want to make some money. And he knows, like, my mom, before she met my dad, she made a lot of money as like an actress.
Yeah.
And
Rita Wilson.
A lot of that was from commercials.
Yeah.
Like she made a grip from doing commercials.
Right.
When she was young, like when she was 17, like my mom was a boss. Like when my mom was like 17, she bought her own Porsche. You know what I'm saying? Bought her own Porsche. You know what I'm saying? Like she was guapped up like from doing commercials. So my little brother knew that. He was like, well, you did commercials. I want to go do commercials.
Right.
So my mom was like, okay. This is at a dinner table. We're having dinner. She's like, okay, I'll take you around to meet with the agents, to meet with a commercial agent. I was like, hold up. I want to do it too. Right. She's like, okay, I'll take both of you guys. So my little brother ended up booking a commercial like for like Firestone tires or something. And he made he's 12 years old. He made like $20,000.
Wow.
I was like, what? So I started going on auditions. The very first audition I went on was for this movie called Bratz.
I know that movie. Based on the dolls.
Yeah, remember the Bratz dolls? If you were a girl that grew up in like the early 2000s.
My little niece and the Bratz dolls.
Yeah. That was the very first audition I went on, and I got that. So
So they dressed you up as one of the Bratz girls, and you were in the movie.
I was the president of the science club. I was the nerd.
All right.
I played the nerd.
Dope.
The president of the science club, Dexter. Watch that. Yeah. See Bratz if you haven't. That was really cool because I got to like leave school like for like 2 months in the middle of the year to go shoot this movie. Like I was like lit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was the first thing I did, and then I had other little roles and little things after that, but it was like just like a line, like 1 line or 2 lines, like little tiny like walk-on roles. And that's all I did. Then I went to college. Boom. I didn't work for the 4 years I was in college because I was in school, didn't have time. And so then I got back, started going on auditions again, and I wasn't getting anything. It just wasn't clicking. It just wasn't clicking. Like I was just.
Did you get frustrated?
Hell yeah. You know what I mean? And that's like every actor has that point.
Is it do you get extra added frustration added onto it because was there any part of you that thought that maybe because your parents also run
like they could pull some strings or something?
Right, because they run Playtone. So like they could Playtone, huge production company, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, Gary Ghostman, they one of the biggest.
One of the best movies ever too.
What movie? That Thing You Do. That was actually the first Playtone production, I think. Actually, Playtone is named after the record label, and you can't out movie that.
Yeah, That Thing You Do. Yeah.
Man, chill out, Maddie. I'm trying to do an interview over here. So was there any thought that maybe they should pull some strings?
No.
Did you ever want them to call in any favors or anything like that?
No, never. Because first of all, I know that my dad would never do that. Never do that.
He wants you to go out and get it just like he did.
He would never even want to put himself in that position. You know what I'm saying? Like he would like it just goes against his values. You know what I mean? Like the only way you get to do this is if you earn your spot. If you don't earn your spot, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Every role that I have, I audition for, out of the hundreds or thousands of people that they audition. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to make yourself pop. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go on an audition for something, they're looking at hundreds of other people.
Right.
Maybe thousands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they also take people from New York. They audition people from LA. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking at thousands, possibly thousands of people, right? And they're all reading the same scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to do something that pops to make yourself stand out, to get the call back. And on the call back, you got to do it even better again. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of elimination, and get that shit and be like, this is mine. I'm taking it. And that's how I got every role. That's how that's the only way that you can go and execute the role if you get it. Because it's like, if they just give you it and say, make a phone call, put me in this movie. Well, what are you gonna do when you're on set? Yeah. And you got to do it for real in front of the cameras with everyone looking at you. You know what I'm saying? If you can't earn it, if you can't earn your spot there, you have no business being there because you're gonna make a fool out of yourself.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I was watching Jurassic World a couple of nights ago. Bryce Dallas Howard is in that movie. So obviously, if anybody knows, that's Ron Howard's daughter. First of all, a couple of things I didn't realize. Number one, she's thick. I did not realize that. Next time, I never realized that before. I then did a Google search, and this entire shout out to Bryce Dallas Howard, beautiful woman, talented actress, thick. Never realized it. She's in front of the dinosaur, and I'm like, I gotta Google that. Google it, and it's a whole threads dedicated to her thickness. Shout out to you, sweetie. That's a true story, by the way. Look it up. Bryce Dallas Howard. She thick. I'm telling you. Secondly, she's a great actress. Okay, seen her in a multitude of things. Seen her in Later in the Water. Seen her in
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. In that, I think Nosebleed was the one that she was in, or whatever it was, where they were the social media one. She's great. People would look at her career and say nepotism made her, or at Gwyneth Paltrow, or at Mira Sorvino, or at Nicolas Cage, or anybody else who comes from a famous family. You know what all the people that I just mentioned have in common? They can all, Nicolas Cage included, by the way, kids, if they can all flat out fucking act. Every single person. They can all act. So my point by saying that is, there might be different things that help you get in the door, but you're not going to have a career being a washed, terrible actor in Hollywood for X amount of years if you can't act. Like,
not only that, if you can't act and someone gives you a shot, you know what I mean, and you walk through that door, if you walk through that door and you're not prepared to walk through it, it'll be the last door. It'll be the last one. Through.
So she had to kill roles. These people had to kill roles. They had to continue to build on careers and execute.
Yeah, you have to.
And that's the thing. What was the first thing that you booked? Because I know you've done a lot of work here recently. You actually on a little run. You did Tales, which we all watched. Shout out to Irv and enjoyed.
Yeah, shout out Irv.
Shout out Irv. We watched Tales, and now you're on Empire. You got movies coming out.
And Shameless.
And Shameless, of course. So when did it start to, like you said you went through a dry period. Right. When did it start to pop? When did it start going?
It started to pop once I got sober.
Let's talk about that.
Well, I've been sober since July 23rd, 2015.
Give it up for Chet Hanks.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. Yeah. So 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm completely abstinent from everything. Like I don't drink. I don't smoke weed.
Right.
I'm nothing. Right. Nothing. You know what I mean?
How you feel?
I feel like me. You know what I mean? I feel like me. Word. And that's the reward, you know what I'm saying? Because before I didn't, you know what I mean? I was trying to be something else. I was running away from who I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's given me a chance to be me because think about it, right? Sobriety, I don't have an escape from being me, right? I don't have smoke a joint, you know what I'm saying? Get a little high, chill. Like, I'm here 24/7. I don't take a break. I don't take a vacation from being here. You know what I'm saying? I don't go out, get drunk, have a crazy night, forget about it, wake up like, oh, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, because that's like, to me, like, that's what drugs were. Like, it was an escape. You know what I'm saying? It was like.
Where were you escaping from?
I mean, I wasn't, honestly, I just like getting high. Like, okay. I like the effect that it was produced.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But certain drugs did different things for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, like weed chills you out.
Yeah.
You get drunk, you get a little liquid courage, you're a little bit more bold.
Right.
You know what I mean? You do some blow, you're like thinking a mile. You have the master plan. You're like, oh my God, I got the fucking master plan. I got the key. Like I just got to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you're doing like, and for me, I was just like a little chemist, like a little DJ, just like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Just mixing, like getting like the mix right for like my life. You know what I mean? Like, and that was robbing me of the opportunity to just be myself, because when you're just, you know what I mean, now I'm in my skin 24/7. I don't take a little vacation. You know what I'm saying? Of like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, this has been a shitty day. Like, I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? Like, so it gave me the opportunity for me to know myself, like on a deep level, like to just be myself. You know what I mean?
Right. And you feel like that helped you kind of find your craft and find your footing as an actor.
Absolutely. Because you need to know yourself before you can make an attempt to be anyone else. You have to know, like, just the emotions going on within yourself to be able to take that and translate it to a character, to bring it to a character. You know what I'm saying? Right. By the way, not every single person is the type of individual that kind of needs to be sober. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody has like my brain chemistry. Do you know what I'm saying? But me,
you do.
Like me, I am like I'm an addictive person. You know what I'm saying? Like
bro.
I am.
I get it, man.
Like I have the addictive personality template.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So for a guy like me, and for anybody who's an addict, there's only one way for you to win. There's only one way for you to get ahead, to live,
right.
And that's total abstinence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Normal people, we call them normies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like in like the sober, we're like, it's not like that. Like
they can smoke a little bit, drink a little bit, do a little bit.
You know what I mean? And it's not that deep. And it's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? For me, it is that deep. You know what I'm saying?
What was your addiction like for your family when you were going through it?
Really hard. You know what I mean? Because my mom knew I was an addict like long before I did. You know what I'm saying? That's why she was always really strict with like even just like smoking weed. Like when my mom found out I was smoking weed, it was like,
when'd you start smoking weed?
When I was 16.
Okay.
And it quickly and it went from like, you know what I mean? Like, and then like literally shortly thereafter, I'm like stoned all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like wake and bake. So my mom knew, like, you know what I mean? Like she could see it before I did. And at the time I was like, chill, like you're tripping. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just smoking weed. Everybody smokes weed. Right. Everybody smokes weed. Like relax, like get off my ass. But looking back in hindsight, she really knew what was best. You know what I'm saying?
So she could see it coming. When was there anything that you did that like was there any point that you had to hit like a low point with your addiction where you knew that it was time to like 1,000%? Like what changed you? What got you out of it?
Well, a couple things. My life had gotten really shitty. You know what I mean? Like my life had gotten really shitty. You know what I mean? Like 2015, I was constantly making a fool out of myself, publicly and privately. You know what I mean? I was in the, you know what I mean? Like tabloids were, because I was always doing some, you know what I'm saying? Some crazy shit.
We remember.
Yeah. Yeah. I was always doing some crazy shit. So, you know what I mean? I was like digging a hole.
Anything you particularly regret during that time?
Yeah, I regret all of it. You know what I mean? I regret all of it.
Yeah.
There's like a point you get where you're just like, this is like not the life I was meant to live. Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? And I was at that point when I found out I was having a kid.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna be a father. Like, I'm gonna bring a life into this.
Yeah.
Like, into like how like this like how fucked up my life is. Like I'm about to be responsible, like a person.
Yeah.
And I've had the greatest parents. I'm like I feel a total responsibility to give my child like be as great of a parents to my child as my parents were to me. If I don't do that, like who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was that, and also some very key people like helped me out. You know what I'm saying? Like helped me out and talked to me when I was at a really low point in my life. And one of those people was Scooter Braun.
Shout out Scooter Braun.
You know what I'm saying? That's why like
the homie Scooter Braun, my guy.
Scooter knows this, and I tell him, but like he had a major part in like saving my life, along with my daughter. Those two things, because I had a conversation with Scooter right after I found out that I was going to be a father. I couldn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my parents because I like wasn't even on speaking terms with them. Like our relationship had gotten so bad. You know what I mean? And Scooter called me up and he was like, "What's up, bro? Like, how you doing? I'm just checking on you. What's going on?" And I was like, "It's good, man. Everything's good." And I was like, as I said that, I just couldn't stand the sound of my own bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Everything's not good. And I told him everything. You know what I'm saying? I told him that found out I was going to have a kid. Like, I just told him everything about, you know, like what shit was like. And he told me, he said, "Chet, I want you to go off and get some help, and you know I'll take care of it. And if you do that, then you'll look back on this day as the day that changed your life forever."
And then you put one foot in front of the other, and you went ahead and did it.
When he said that, like he said it with such certainty
that you could see it.
He said it like because I really look up to Scooter. You know what I'm saying? Like
fantastic guy.
Like I look up to him. Like I really admire him. And when he said it, like I was in a completely hopeless state of mind. But when he said that, he said, "This will be the day that changes your life forever." He said it with such certainty that I knew that he was right. Like I knew he wasn't saying it like on some like kumbaya, like
it wasn't like a pep talk. He was trying to give you life advice.
Yeah,
those
like,
two things aren't the same.
He just said it like with such certainty. I was like, I'll never forget it. You know what I'm saying? So I did what he said, and I went off, and I've been sober ever since.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And now, like we said before, 2 years sober, you got so many different things popping. You just told me that you was in my hometown shooting a movie, man.
Yeah.
It's in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, in Baton Rouge. I'm Baton Rouge. He's telling me he was on the USS Kidd. He was doing a movie. USS Kidd is an old World War II ship that's permanently docked. Been docked there since I can remember in Baton Rouge, right on the Mississippi River, right under the bridge, or a little bit off from the bridge. You shooting a movie there with your dad, you were telling me.
Yeah.
What the fuck do Tom Hanks and Chet Hanks do in Baton Rouge for 2 or 3 months? like seriously, I love BR. I love my home. What the fuck do you do in Baton Rouge for 2 or 3 months, man?
I wasn't there for the whole 3 months. My dad was. But
he must stick out like a sore thumb in Baton Rouge, man.
He keeps it low key though. I mean, like we just like went to eat. You know what I mean? Like we went to go get Mexican food. Like.
So you're down there in the
and then he goes to sleep early, you know what I mean? Because he has to wake up.
And y'all eating Mexican food. Y'all all the way down to the best food in the fucking world. Y'all going to Taco Bell. Ain't this some shit? What are y'all doing over there? But what was it like working with your dad on something though? Because you guys,
it was so dope because it's the first time we'd ever like been in a scene together. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It was the first time we'd ever like been on camera together, and it was like beforehand I was like really nervous because I didn't know how it would be. I was like, man, is this gonna be weird? Like, am I gonna be able to like do a good job? Because it's like I'm looking like at my dad, like, and it was so dope. Like it wasn't weird at all. Like it was even easier. Like it was totally like relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Like it was dope because like we were just both into it. You know what I mean? And like, and I think it came out really good.
Do you have any gauge? I'm sure you do. Do you have any gauge of just how good he is at what he does?
Absolutely. I'm blown away constantly.
It's insane.
When I watch his movies, and I'm always asking him. I'm like,
you pick his brain for acting stuff.
I pick his brain. I pick apart like scenes. I'm like, I asked him like what was going on like that day. Like I get the whole 411. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'll be like, what like that like one moment like what were you like? What was this? What were you like? What was your preparation like that day? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do when you got to do this type of scene? What do you do when you're feeling nervous like before this? You know what I'm saying? And he gives me the best advice. When I'm on set, I call him. When I'm in my trailer, if I'm like freaking out about something, I'll call him and he gives me game.
He just knows how to slow the game down for you a little bit and get you centered where you go do your best. Yeah, but also it's like a big part of like about he helps me understand. He helps me understand because this is the thing about being an actor. Sometimes you do a scene and you're like, man, I killed that shit. Mm-hmm. And then you look at it later and you're like, man, that was terrible. Yeah, yep.
And then sometimes you're like, that was fucking awful. Like I butchered that. Mm-hmm. And then you watch it and you're like, holy shit, that was phenomenal. So you never know for sure how you did. Right. You know what I mean? You never know for sure.
Right.
Oftentimes, if you feel a way, like if you feel like frantic or like scared or whatever, sometimes that's good because it'll translate in a way that you can't understand, but that's gonna work perfectly for the scene. That makes something that gives it like the full 3 dimensions of like the human aspect of something.
Right.
Because if you're an actor going through something as you're shooting something, you're gonna appear. No one can tell. It's gonna appear as someone going through something, which is exactly what it should. You know what I mean? So he helps me understand things like that. You know what I mean?
Your brother Colin, actor as well, very good actor. What's your relationship with him like? Do you guys ever trade notes on acting and stuff like that?
I was just with him yesterday. Yeah, man. I have 2 nieces. He's got 2 beautiful daughters. Great wife, family. I was there yesterday, and me and him talk like. We don't talk so much about like the craft, but we talk about like the business. You know what I'm saying? Like the game, because he's gone through already what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Of just not just navigating the game as it is and the business as it is, but just also navigating it with that. You know what I'm saying? Of being, you know what I mean? Like being the son of my dad and just how the way that plays into things. You know what I'm saying? He's been through all that. So me and him talk about
probably
that
a lot for you guys to kind of share notes on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanna where'd the swag come from? Where'd like you know what I'm saying? Cause like you rapping, you were down with Irv, you in Empire. It seems like you embrace the culture. You know what I mean? You like where did you sort of kind of, you know, because you was rapping and stuff like that. Where did the love for hip hop culture and the love for all of that, where did that come in? Like, because you grew up in the Palisades, so I would assume that it's not a lot of
culture.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So where did all where did all that sort of come from? When did you first start listening to rap, wanting to rap? Like, like where did that originate?
Well, if you really think about it, like I'm a '90s baby. Do you know what I mean? Like I was born in 1990.
The golden age.
Yeah, I'm a '90s baby. You know what I mean? Like, so you know what I mean? Like that is the culture. It's not just black culture or urban culture. Like for like my generation, it's the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like. There was a time when it was like, you know, like the urban culture and then like, you know what I mean? Like rock music or everything, you know, like there were like, the urban culture was like a subculture. Yeah. But we're in 2018, like culture, like the Migos, like their album is called Culture for a reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not urban culture. It's culture.
It's the culture.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's
the
the
mainstream,
culture.
the predominant thing.
Yeah, so it's like-
become that. It's really interesting that you
Yeah.
say that because a lot of people aren't even understanding how powerful that is and how true that is.
Yeah,
It's
and
no-
it's not about it's beyond race
Mm-hmm.
or class or any of that.
It's just what moves and what doesn't. That's it. That's all it
Exactly.
is. Yeah.
Don't you think?
No, I agree. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
listen, for me, this is my thing. Like, being a black man, you always want to protect things that you feel like black people have originated and stuff like that. But you also have to understand when something has become mainstream. And the reality is that right now, hip hop culture, it influences the world.
Right.
It is the world. Like, you can't be cool unless you can't be on unless you understand these things and know how to navigate these things. Anything else is kind of corny. And I feel like this is the kind of the first time where that's really been true. I mean, when you've really seen a wholesale deal. Now, you know, we still got to do some more things in terms of ownership and understanding what having cultural power means, because there's responsibility that goes along with that. And as we mature, we get to
Right.
that. But, you know, I agree with you right now. When you
Right.
say, where did you pick it up? You like basically saying, I didn't pick it up. It picked me up.
I grew up, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in America in the 90s.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Biggie.
Biggie.
Of all time, Biggie.
And you grew up in L.A.
Yeah.
And Biggie, why is Biggie your favorite rapper?
Because he has he has the most there's nobody who has a better flow than Biggie.
Yeah, it's insane.
You know what I mean? Like,
Boy, he was born to do it.
he was just the greatest to ever touch the mic.
So just real quick, just so listeners of the podcast know, Chet Hanks just said fuck Tupac.
No,
That's gonna be
no, bro.
Do-do-do-do.
You're not gonna Lil
Chet
Zan me,
Hanks,
bro. You're not gonna Lil Zan me. You're not gonna Lil Zan me, bro.
But nah, Biggie born to rap, man. Born to rap. Voice has a natural boom bap to it. Like
This is flow.
This is flow. Like
Flow.
born to rap. Born to rap. So you started rapping. You became a rapper. You rap. Like, when did you make the decision that you were so influenced by that you wanted to get on the mic and spit?
When I was like in college, when I was like 20 years old.
Started rapping.
Yeah, trying to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I was very naive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had like a real passion for rap, for hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I started writing my own rhymes. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, fuck it. And I always felt like people are gonna clown me so hard for like being like Tom Hanks' son and like trying to rap. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. I was naive because I didn't understand like what was gonna happen. I was just like, I'm gonna put out music. Like, I'm gonna start like rapping. I didn't expect that it was gonna like make national news.
That anyone would fucking care.
No, I didn't expect that it was gonna exactly. I
Yeah.
didn't expect except like people that knew me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't expect that it was gonna be like go viral. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, those were like the first raps I ever wrote. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were the first raps I ever wrote. You know what I'm saying? And everybody when they first start sucks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I sucked. You know what I'm saying? But so like my first steps like out like of like, yo, I'm like rapping, we're like my earliest shit and it sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, that doesn't happen to people because they don't start getting noticed until they're good. I got noticed when I was still really shitty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Normally, it takes. That's actually that's a good point.
You know what I
Normally,
mean?
it takes somebody to actually spit fire for us to be like, "Yo, this
to
guy
master
can
their
go."
craft.
Yeah.
To master their craft. You know what I'm saying? So I was like playing catch up. You know what I'm saying? And I took I stopped for a long time. Once I got sober, I stopped for a long time because I was just focusing on that. You know, I was just focusing on staying sober. But now I'm putting out new music with in a group, and it's like it's not like the stuff that I put out before, which was like that was like right at the same time that like all like the white boy rappers like started popping up, like MGK and Mac Miller, God bless the dead. You know what I mean? So that's like the way. Like that's that. When I started putting out music, that was the time. It was like 2010. You know what I mean? And it was like I was like on some like white boy like frat rap like shit like that. The shit I'm putting out now is not like that at all. it's very musical. It's like I have like guitars, drums, bass, like, but also like with like 808s and like trap sounds, and you just gotta wait and hear it. But everyone really needs to check that out.
I will. I want to ask you about something that had to do with your rap career. When I first heard of you, I heard of you because of all the N-word stuff. Do you remember this? Do you guys remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Chet Hanks was defiantly saying the N-word, and he was holding on to it. It was Tom Hanks' son wants to say the N-word. You tried the whole thing.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on that now? And do you understand? Because you said hip hop culture is your culture. Do you understand why that bothers us so much?
I'm glad that you asked me this. I'm glad that you asked me this. When that happened, right? There's a few different things that were going on with me. Number one, I was on a lot of drugs.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of drugs. Number two, my life was really shitty, but I really wanted to like be, you know, like rapping, like to be like doing music, like for doing this, but nothing was happening.
Right.
So number three, like subconsciously, and also number three, I really just wanted so badly to like be more than who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like just being me like wasn't enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was searching for myself. Do
you think that you wanted to be black at all?
I wanted to be like down, you know what I mean?
I feel you.
I just felt like I wasn't enough. But fourth, low key, like subconsciously looking back on it now, I realized that like I was trolling.
Oh, word.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I was trolling. Like I thought that like crazy antics and just wilding the fuck out and just like doing some crazy shit was gonna like spark like my career. You know what
that means, Chet?
And like
that means you were ahead of your time. Because that means you were the first.
I was trolling. I was trolling before the trolls.
Right, because that shit is working for everybody now.
I was trolling before the trolls. You understand? And it was just like I did like the ultimate lame thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I did like the ultimate like cornball thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I did the ultimate cornball thing. Like, and that shit wasn't cool. And basically, I was just like, it was just like an insane like time. Like my mind frame was just like insane.
Right.
Like at that time, you know what I mean? Like it was just like it was just like a very like not like I wasn't like making any clear decisions.
Right.
It wasn't like a decision. It was just like it happened, and I was trying to run with it because I was already like in the media all the time for like really negative shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like the media like had it out against me. You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
you like fuck these dudes then.
I was like, people are gonna like fucking shit on me like no matter what, and they're making me out to be like the bad guy. They're making me out to be like the fuck up like son of Tom Hanks, and then I just like bought into that.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be the fuck up son, then I'm gonna be the biggest, like the biggest one of them all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you want me to be the bad guy? I'm gonna be like the worst bad guy. The worst bad guy, because then I can at least create some attention and try to you know, like channel that into, you know what I'm saying? Like
breaking away and doing your own thing, having your
you know
own
what I mean? Like
identity,
having my own like niche.
Yeah.
Like be like, fuck it. Like people are gonna hate me, but like, but maybe there's gonna be some people that really fuck with me,
right?
Too, because I'm just crazy and I don't give a fuck.
Whatever you want.
And I'll have that niche like market, and I'll be like fucking like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like have my own little niche, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like following.
What
you know
what did Tom think about that? When you were saying, like, what did he talk? He must have freaked the fuck out.
They were just like, they're like, Chet, like you gotta stop. Like, this is not like a battle you're gonna win.
Right.
They're just like, they were very calm. They were just like, this is not a battle you're gonna win.
Right.
You know.
Right. Bro, let me tell you something, man. It like, you know, when that shit first happened, or when any ways I kind of knew you, you was just wilding out. It was like whatever. But do you know what made people start taking you seriously? And this is something that people have to understand. What made people start taking you seriously is the work. Like, if you can hear the sound of my voice right now, nothing is more serious than the work that you do. Not the words that you say, not the promises that you make, not anything. Nothing's more serious than the work that you do. I'm looking around, I'm looking at the internet, I'm watching Earth Show, and I see that you're popping up and stuff. I'm seeing that these are serious things. I hear people talking about the performances that you're doing. I see you going in a direction. I don't hear it. I don't hear, yo, I gotta get my life together, not making Instagram videos. I see you go, yo, I'm in this, I'm doing that. You're on red carpets. You have a career going. Like, you're doing your thing. The work speaks for itself, and it speaks the loudest. Where do you want to go now? Like, what is, if you have it, if you had it your way, what would you, do you want to be Tom Hanks?
All I want to be is me, and all I want to go is what God has in store for me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go wherever God takes me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm it's in His hands.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for every step of the way. You know what I mean? And man, I'm so thankful, bro. Like, I'm so thankful, like, for where I'm at. Like, a lot of people don't get to be here.
Yeah.
A lot of people die.
They don't make it back.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I do like have a vision in my mind for where I want to go.
Right.
But I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna let the work speak for itself.
Let the work speak for
itself. You know
itself.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just.
All right. Before I let you go, I'm gonna ask 3 movie nerd questions. 3. First of all, I need a story of a time that a famous person just randomly talked to you and you didn't know how famous they were. What I mean is, like, one of Daddy's friends happens to be fucking Will Smith, and later on,
Well, I would have known that.
I know, but I just need some cool Hollywood shit. Like, is I don't know, dude. Is fucking Jack Nicholson your godfather or some shit like this? Shit is wild. Tom Hanks is your dad. Like, it's wild. Like what did you go to, like, what was the coolest thing? Fuck that question. What was the coolest thing? Because we talked about some of the pitfalls. What was the dopest thing about being Tom Hanks' son? The absolute dope. Tom Hanks, Rhea Willis, and your parents. Absolute dopest thing.
Yeah, that's easy. Just traveling the world. Just traveling. Like, I've been to a lot of places. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the best.
That's the best.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
not like looking at an Oscar and, like, having it and holding that bitch. Nigga got 2 Oscars.
That's not like...
He got 2 Oscars.
Yeah, I know. I've held both of them.
Where they at?
They're in his office.
Damn. He won 2 Oscars back to back. He Kobe'd that shit.
Yeah.
He dropped, dude, drop Philadelphia, bang, come right back with Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
2 on y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Forrest Gump was a stacked year, too.
Forrest Gump in a stacked year, he comes right back with Forrest Gump. And then the nominations keep rolling in. Couple years, he comes back, boom, boom, Castaway. By the way, let me tell you something about Castaway. Next time you talk to your dad, tell him my theory about Castaway. This is my situation about Castaway. Helen Hunt, Castaway, fucked up. If you never find my body, if they never find my body, you wait. I'm not coming back after I fucking been eating shellfish on the island for 5 fucking years, and now you fucking Mr. Big from Sex and the City. Shit is too much. like you know what I'm saying? Like every time I see Castaway, I get pissed off. So, like, she comes back, 5 years, they didn't find the body. You gotta fucking hold out hope for 10 years, and I'm still alive. You have to. They never found the body. He's there. It's him and a fucking volleyball. This nigga's going crazy. He's talking to a volleyball. You know what I'm saying? And so like, I every time I come back, I watch the movie, and I think, you fucked up. That's messed up. You got a whole new life, don't you, bitch? Excuse me. To cut the bitch out. You got a whole new life,
hold
don't
up.
You got a whole new life.
Also,
I'm on an island.
on the Castaway note,
Yeah.
my dad got robbed on that Oscar. He got robbed.
Who won the Oscar that year?
Russell Crowe for
Gladiator.
For Gladiator. Okay, no. Hold on. No.
Oh, the Insider. He should have won for Gladiator. Was a weak fucking best actor award.
Wait, hold up.
I love Gladiator.
Let's not get it twisted. Gladiator
is a fucking fantastic
amazing movie. Amazing
a fucking
movie.
fantastic
Russell
movie.
Crowe's performance.
Great.
Amazing.
Joaquin Phoenix also great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't compare that to my dad's performance in Castaway.
Yeah, Russell Crowe should have probably won his Oscar for A Beautiful Mind. Shout out to Denzel, who won it that year for Training Day.
Wow.
But Russell Crowe, the Oscar for Gladiator was kind of weak.
Okay, look. My dad lost 100 pounds for that movie.
Yeah, shot it in 2 different sections.
Yeah. They shot the first part where he was fat, then they took a break, and then they shot the other part. They took a break for a year.
Right, to let
in
him
that
lose the
year,
weight. Yeah.
in that year, this is all I remember. Coming home from school, my dad would be growing out his beard. He grew out his hair. He didn't shave or get a haircut for a year, and every day he's just on the treadmill. Every day when I get home from school, on the treadmill, he was eating Zone diets. They had these little tiny diets that they delivered to his house. His meals were like that big, and he's just on the treadmill for a year. And you're not gonna give him the Oscar? Hold up. Furthermore, he's the only dude in the movie. What other actor you know that can be the only guy in a movie and have it be interesting as fuck?
That's true.
The whole time.
Yeah, talking to a
Who
volleyball.
Who else can make you cry when he loses a volleyball?
I love this.
Did that shit make you cry?
I was
that you teared up.
destroyed.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
fuck crying, dog. I was, dude, I was destroyed. You understand? When I'm on the thing, first of all, you know he's gonna get off the island, right? So you're happy. He's made the whole fucking float thing. He's floating away, and he's there.
Bruh.
He wakes up. I'm in the theater. First of all, by that point, you're emotionally drained from Castaway. You're already emotionally drained by that point. And then you get there. I'm in the theater. I remember because I'm older than you, so I'm in the theater. I'm like, please don't let this motherfucker lose this volleyball. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, please don't let this motherfucker lose this volleyball. The volleyball is fucking bouncing up and down.
Oh my God.
It breaks on the tether screen. And now he's too weak. He can't even swim to go get the volleyball. He's screaming for the volleyball. And I remember my mom got pissed off. My mom is like, it's Sunday. Why am I looking at this depressing ass shit? And she starts crying. And then after that, he gets back. Helen Hunt fucked over him. Never forget it. I never looked at her the same. Never looked at her the same.
Yes, though. But the ring.
Yeah, so what?
That's like an incredible moment, right?
This man's father hadn't had ass in 5 years. You gotta do more than kiss me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you shout out to her. She went on and lived her life. Like I said, she got with Mr. Big, all of that stuff. I don't know what the status of this man's job at FedEx was after that. He lost it all. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro. He got paid from FedEx. So they're taking care of him. Bro.
They were taking care of
FedEx.
FedEx.
He was like a national hero. You know.
Oh, okay, good.
And he meets that chick at the end of the movie, and she was bad.
That bomb ass
chick
with the red hair,
with the the
angel
wings on the package. And
yeah. Is that your last question? Promise. Is that your favorite of your dad's movies? What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
Road to Perdition.
Wow. That's the only gangster
Road to
one he's ever
Perdition.
done. Mike Sullivan.
If you haven't seen that, go see that. Road to Perdition.
Mike Sullivan.
Hard.
Bro. My two favorite scenes of Road to Perdition. First of all, Daniel Craig plays the fucking most cowardly, dastardly character in Road to Perdition you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig is a fucking brilliant actor. Yeah. He's brilliant in that movie. So, Road to Perdition, the beginning of the movie, kid sneaks into the thing. Daniel Craig shoots the guy they're not supposed to shoot him, right?
Uh-huh.
Immediately, Tom Hanks opens up on everybody else in the room.
Yeah.
They like, fuck it now. Immediately, I mean, he shoots the guy. And after that, they talk about it. It wasn't like, yo, what the fuck did you do? It's like, boom, blah, blah, blah. He was a gangster in that fucking movie.
Yeah,
that's a good movie. That's, you know what? Yeah. That's an unsung Hanks classic right there.
That's like the one movie that's like the least Tom Hanks out of all of them. Like,
of all of them.
He's like not like, he's that role is like, to me, it's like the role where it's like, I don't even see any of my dad in that. You know what I mean? Like, usually when I watch the movie, I'm like, yo, this is my dad being my dad. But that one is like, he's not there at all. You know what I'm saying?
All.
Yeah, cold.
Jude Law's creepy. My favorite Tom Hanks. My favorite Tom Hanks movie ever. It's easy. You've Got Mail.
Wow. 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 Did you like the rom-coms?
I like that shit.
Yeah.
Don't he gets busy in that shit. Don't like Tom be getting busy, man. Tom's Dave Chappelle's in that shit. He got busy and You Got Mail, man.
Right.
Like him and Meg Ryan had something. Bro, listen, man. Give it up for Chet Hanks, man. Give it up for Chet Hanks. This was a fantastic situation. What are we on the lookout for from you? I know Empire coming.
Yeah.
You got everything coming. Tell us where we're gonna see
Empire's
you. Hear you.
season premiere. Empire is about to premiere this Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this Wednesday. Check me out in that.
Mm-hmm.
And stay tuned for this music FTRZ that I'm about to drop. I'm telling you, it's gonna fuck y'all up. It's gonna fuck y'all up. It's different. It's
All right,
different.
we fucking with it. We out.